Hello everybody, welcome back, and I'm going to go through the last example here, a very complicated one. I'm going to show you another way of doing it. Instead of making a table and crossing out the values and coming up with new values, it's very methodical and it will always work. I'm just going to show you one that's a little bit more sort of mental math version of graphing, if you wish. This is totally optional, you don't have to do it this way, and I would only really suggest it when you feel very, very comfortable with this material and you can do it. Okay, so number 36, here's our same graph again. And here's sort of our important points, but we're not going to do this with a table. All right, let's list everything that's happening. I've got this, and I've got this. All right, let's label what each one is. This one, the first one in orange, is a negative sign, so I know it's some kind of reflection. And it's multiplying the y's, so it's an x-axis reflection. Cool. Okay, it's x-axis reflection because you're multiplying the y's by negative. So negative 1 times y is basically what's happening, right? Okay, the purple here, it's happening on the inside with the x, and it's addition and subtraction, so it's either up, down, left, or right. It's x, so it's either left or right. And see, it's a negative sign, so we think it might be left, but it's actually going to the right. So this is going right to, and we get that by literally taking the x's and adding 2, because that's how we move to the right. And the last one over here in the yellow, it's a negative sign, subtracting, so it's an up, down, left, right, translating, shifting. It's on the outside, so it's happening to the y's, so this is actually moving down 1 along the y's. And we get that by taking our y's and just moving down, and that's by going minus 1. Okay, using that knowledge, specifically using these, you can now sort of shift every point mentally and draw the new point. But again, it's really, really important, friends, that you do it in the correct order. We have to do reflections first, and then any stretching or shrinking, but no, there's no stretching or shrinking here. It's just shifting and translating afterwards. So you can just shift and translate. And now, between the two of these, you can do either one in any order. It's still shifting, so it's okay. I'll just go in order and do 2 and 3. But you can switch those. It's okay. It won't change it, but you have to start with reflections first. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to take every point, and I'm going to literally do multiply the y value by a negative. I'm going to add 2 to the x value, and I'm going to subtract 1 to the y value. Okay? But I'm just going to do it mentally, but I'll talk you through it. Let's do this one in blue. All right, ready? I'm going to take the first point here, which is negative 4, comma 1. All right, negative 4, comma 1. If I multiply the y's by negative, you're thinking negative 4, comma negative 1. Now don't put this on your graph. I'm just doing this to help you mentally. That would go to negative 4, negative 1. Then if I was to shift it to the right, that's adding 2. So that would move him over here. Let me get rid of the old one. And then if I want to move it down 1, that's subtracting y's by 1. So it moves down 1. Okay? So my point that started here actually moves there. And that would be my new point. So why don't I put that there? There you go. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to work left to right and do each single point in the order that you see on the left. Reflection, to the right 2, and down 1. Okay? Watch and see how this goes. Again, I'll keep talking you through it to make sure you're okay. But again, don't do this method unless you really, really feel comfortable on this material and the mental math is okay for you. If you still prefer the table way, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Just do it that way. That's great. Okay, the next point is this one over here, the second one from the left. Ready? We're going to reflect across the y, which goes up to negative 2, 1. So I multiplied the y's, which went from negative 1 is y to positive 1. I'm going to move over 2, move down 1, and I ended here. Did you see that? So just to show it, I went from here to here, and then from here to here, moving to the right 2, and then down 1. Okay? So here's my new point. That one's done. Another thing that happens is as I make these graphs, it gets kind of more complicated. Sometimes it's helpful to cross out the old ones if you want to, so you don't get confused and accidentally draw your new graph through those points. Again, optional, but just more tips and tricks. Okay, my third point's here. Let's do that one. Let's reflect across the y-axis, add 2, and go down 1, and he'd be here. Can you see that? I'll draw it one more time. Ready? He's going to go reflect across the x-axis, make your y's negative, go over 2, and then down 1. Okay, I'm going to do the last point, but I'm not going to draw those arrows. So see if you can figure it out. That point's done. Okay, last point all the way at the end here. I'm going to reflect across the y-axis. That's actually not going to do anything. He's going to stay there. Go right 2 and down 1. All right, there's my new graph for 36. Ready? Connect it, do it, put some arrows, and there it goes, folks. Now, does it look like we did what we did? Well, yeah, it kind of does. It kind of looks like, because this was the high point, my now high point became a new low point. So it looked like I did reflect over the x-axis by multiplying by the y's. Looks like I did shift it over a little bit, and then I did move it down 1. So it works. So this is sort of a mental math way of doing it if you want to. But again, if you'd rather do it the other way and make x and y points, just like we did before, you'll get the exact same answer, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You do, folks, what is comfortable for you. All right, now you're officially graphing pros. Go get them. Good job.